Yo, what's up, everybody? Nice with you here, bringing you If It's For My Daughter, I Would Defeat Even a Demon Lord, Episode 7, titled The Young Girl Visits a Port Town. Now, this was a very, very interesting episode. We got actually a lot of clarifications to certain things. As the title states, they're in a port town, and they're looking around, and this is gonna be like the last port town they go to, and the rest of their journey. And so far, we found out like they're like halfway to the town of Dale's hometown. But while they're there, shopping and buying stuff and whatever, they have dinner one night at this really fancy restaurant, and there's this beautiful girl playing, I think like a harp, and she's playing the harp on stage. And Latina noticed something on this lady, and she noticed that she had an arm bracelet, but the arm bracelet was the same one that she had. Now, if you remember in episode 1, when Dale found Latina, she had that bracelet in her arm, and she was told to stay with it and to take care of it. But we never knew what the significance of it was. And even though she doesn't wear it no more, we know she has it in her item box. So Dale was like, I wonder if that's something important. And then Latina, she asks Dale, do you think that she's a demon like me? And his reply was, I'm not really sure. She doesn't look like one, but she could be hiding her horns as well. Who knows? So basically, he called over the barkeep, or one of the servants, and he spoke to him. We didn't get to hear what the dialogue was. And the next day, they ended up actually sitting down and having a short meeting with her to see what's going on. Why does she have a bracelet similar to Latina's? And we found out her name. Her name is Gleros. And we found out that, yes, she is a female demon, just like Latina. She takes off her hat and we see her horns, because the day before she had her hair done in a way where it puffs up and it covers her whole back, so you can't really see her horns. And her horns are black and small anyway. So thanks to her hair being dark purple and her little flowers and everything, you really couldn't tell last night that she had that on. But when she took off the hat and she just had her regular long down hair, you could see her horns. And she was like, this omelet is passed down from fathers to children. We found out that in the devil race, the mothers are the ones that raise the children, because the fathers don't stay around. Unlike human relationships where the humans stay together as a couple and raise the children, demons don't do that. What they do is they mate with somebody and that's it, and they leave. If she gets pregnant, then it's her responsibility to take care of the kid. So that's technically how it works in this realm for demons. And usually what some fathers would do when they're happy, and this is a custom in her village, and I believe her village was named Velos. Basically what they do is that the father will pass a bracelet from them onto their children. And she said, this bracelet is mine. My father was Merivatos, and I'm Gleris. And she's like, most likely the bracelet you have is also passed down from your father to you. So Latina wrote on a piece of paper the writing and the name, and she gave it to her. And Gleris, she wrote down what it would translate to and gave it back to Latina. Now for us, we saw the paper, but it was in demon writing, so we couldn't really read it, so we don't know what it says, and it wasn't stated by neither Latina or her what the paper says, but that's being foreshadowed for most likely a reason. And while this is going on, they bring up an interesting topic. We found out that there's about, I think, 10, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 8 demon lords, like, in the whole, realm of this place that we're in. And we found out that the second demon lord, who's a female, she actually killed the first a couple years back in a war for territory. And because of that, where she was living at with her husband, who was a human, by the way, she made it with a human, they had to leave that place because it became very chaotic. And we found out the second demon lord is a female, and her name, we don't get it, but we find out that she loves death and slumber, and they call her the underworld demon. Then we found out that the fourth demon lord loves diseases and pain, and is known as the embodiment of the plague. That's her name for that one. So there's two female demon lords right there. And then the last demon lord we find out is the seventh one, which is a male, and he loves war. And we find out that there's another demon lord that lives with the giants, and he's a big, tall, husky man. Now, we're not sure if that's the same one who's the war god, who's the seventh one, but I believe it is. And the second demon lord who killed the first, we find out that she's living with the merfolks. So, I'm not sure how that works, that she has them enslaved, or is she enslaved to them, or they do have a partnership. We don't know, but this is making the story very, very interesting. The title is, if it's for my daughter, I will even defeat a demon lord. So I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line, Dale actually has to fight once to death for his daughter. So that's going to be very interesting setup, and I can see it now. The reason that we're getting all the information is that Dale is going to eventually fight one of these guys for his daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she's related to one and they want to kill her, or maybe one of them want her as a wife, something along that line, something that's going to take Dale off, that's going to force him to draw his blade to kill his opponent. So that's going to be interesting when that happens. But as they talk, the conversation get cut short, apparently, because she has to go to work. So sadly, we didn't get more history or information, because we found out that she's an older devil and she's been living for a long time. But we have this nice, sad, it's not really sad, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of heartwarming at the same time. But as she's about to leave, and Latina and Dale's about to leave, Latina runs back to her and was like, "What happened to your husband? You said you was married to a human." She was like, "Well, my husband, for being human, he lived a pretty long life." Now, she didn't say that he was dead, but just the way she was saying that, you can just assume that he must have died of long age, of old death. He just lived a little bit longer than regular humans. And Latina asked a really important question. She was like, "Did you bear kids?" And this is when we find something else out that's interesting. We find out that for demons, it is very, very hard for them to have kids. Very hard. And for a demon to mix with a human, that's even harder for them to have kids. And this kind of made Latina kind of sad. You saw it in her eyes. But Gloris, she basically hugged Latina and she said, "If me and my husband did have a child, I wish the child would have came out like you." So that made the Latina a little bit more happier that she was getting complimented, even though she felt bad for her at the same time. And she did ask her, "Do you love your husband?" And do you not that you love your husband, but she asked, I forgot what she asked her something important about her husband. It was more along the lines of, "Were you happy that you met him?" And she was like, "Oh yes, I'm very glad that I met him. Very, very happy." And then they both walked away and they did their own thing. Glorias, she went to work, and Latina and Dale went back to their, their keep, or their inn, I should say, to rest. And then the next day came and they traveling again, and they are between this forest and this mountain area. And while they're there taking a break, eating fish sandwiches, we get that epic cliffhanger of somebody sneaking up behind them. Now, Latina turns around and she sees the person, and we get to see who it is. He looks human in the beginning when he was walking up, but then when we see him pass by a tree, we see that he has ears. But his ears are like fox ears, so I'm assuming he's probably from the Beastman race. That's just my guess. But that was the end of the episode. The guy doesn't look bad. He doesn't look like a bad guy, so I don't think he's sneaking up behind them to do any bad intention. I think that was just the path that he was walking in. By accident, they were there, facing the other way. So, but again, I don't think he's a bad guy. I mean, when we saw him, he kind of smiled at them, so I'm assuming that he's a good guy. I mean, maybe because they're eating fish sandwiches and he's a beastman and he smells fish. Maybe that's why he came here. Maybe he's just hungry. Who knows? But yeah, this was a pretty good episode. Very informal. There was a lot of information. I might have to go back myself and reread, the subtitles and really focus on what was going on, because there was a lot of things going on and name drops. And this was a very informative but really good episode. I can't wait for episodes 8 and up. I think this series is supposed to have only 13 episodes, sadly. So we got 9 through 13, so that's about 5 episodes we have. So, or 4, I should say. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, about 4 or 5 episodes. So, I really can't wait. I wonder if this is gonna get a part 2. Season part 2. Just wondering that. I mean, I'm not sure how the sales are doing. I might have to look that up as well later. But that's what I have for you. Let me know what you like and don't like about the episode. And for y'all light novel / manga readers with less spoilers if possible, I would like to know how many demon lords are there. Is there more than 7? Or is it 10? I think they said it was 10, but I don't really remember. I forgot to write that down on my notes. But that's what I have for you. Peace out and have a good one.